Hi all, the purpose of this video is just to reacquaint you with the different circuit elements that you've seen so far in Physics 171. This is just to help you better prepare for your midterm. So this first circuit element that we've seen a bunch is a voltage source. So this will have a large terminal, which we'll call positive, and a smaller terminal, which will be negative. And the sole purpose of a voltage source is to provide a constant potential difference between the two terminals, which we'll call V. The negative side is traditionally called ground, and the voltage usually at ground is said to be 0, so that the positive side has a voltage V. Another circuit element that you've probably seen a lot of but haven't thought much about is a wire. So wires are used just to connect different circuit elements together. Wires have no resistance, and they have no potential difference across them. So what that means is that at any point along this wire, the voltage is the same, so it doesn't change. Voltage between, let's say, this point and this point is the exact same, so there will be no change in potential. So you can make a wire shorter or longer and it won't change the actual outcome of your circuit diagram. Next element that you are familiar with is a resistor. So a resistor is this little zigzaggy thing. It has resistor R, or it has a quantity called resistance, usually signified by R, that just describes how hard it is for current to flow through this element, and what happens by providing friction is energy gets dissipated into the environment. So we'll have some current I that flows through it, and now the voltage across this element, so we'll call that V sub R, is equal to I times R. Now, as I said, the point of a resistor is to dissipate energy into the environment, so we can quantify this by saying that the power dissipated by a resistor is equal to the current squared through that resistor times its resistance, or the current through the resistor times the voltage difference across that resistor. The final element that you should be familiar with is a capacitor. The traditional symbol is just this parallel plate looking capacitance thing. It is categorized by its capacitance C, which just says how well it can store charge Q. The reason why you want to store a charge Q is because if you bring two charges really close together, you'll have a larger potential, or you can think about it as by having two charges close together, you store energy in their electric field. Now, the voltage difference across a capacitor, let's call that V sub C, will be the charge on the capacitor divided by its capacitance. And that's just a quick run through on the different circuit elements that you have for your upcoming midterm.